Yeah. Sure.
Yeah. Um, this is wisdom in flow, not just a name, a sacred movement, soul awakening, call home. We're here to remember that we are more than stories, more than skin, more than survival. We're divine identities, coded in stardust and soulfire. We live in alignment with the infinite, in rhythm with the ancient wisdom, and in harmony with collective purpose. Our mission, to reveal the Christ within, to awaken the God seed in every soul, to equip humanity for sacred, relevant, and impactful engagement across every sphere of life. Here at Wi-Fi, love is unconditional, trust is a frequency, faith a force, and power flows where truth lives. This is wisdom in flow, that the divine rises and you remember who you've always been. Stay connected with us, to love aligned, to live aligned, love deeply, and flow divinely. Our core values: divine love, radical oneness, conscious awakening, and transformative service. We believe that all life flows from and within the universe's divine essence, a loving, omnipresent, and inclusive presence expresses fully in every soul. Each person is a living temple of God. Our sacred practice is to see and express the divine in ourselves and all of life. This is love in action. We affirm a unified world where no one is excluded, no soul is opposed by darkness, and no power stands outside of love. We equally believe in the urgency to awaken humanity to the good news of their redemption, a divine invitation to rise from an inferior expression of life to the most radiant, attractive, and abundant life possible. Our calling is to embody this truth and co-create the reality. The spirit flows freely, purposefully, and powerfully. I will now go through this evocation to God. Father, Mother, God, the embodying presence of all life, may the forces of me now become just and attentive to your divine prompting, that may always be awake to the power of your spiritual presence. Father, Mother, God, my entire life into conscious union with you, renewing me daily in the spirit of love, forgiveness, and fullness of joy. From this body temple of me, in which you live, let your goodwill shine forth through my aura, redeeming, consecrating, perfecting all I see, touch, and relate with. All of the holy thoughts of my Father, Mother, God, take with the wings of the wind, and in the flash of lightning, minister as angels to my soul. God, you are the light, the power, and the eternal blessing. In you I live always, and to you give all glory forever. In the center of the universe, within the vastness of my soul, I evoke thee to come forth, O God of all love, life, all wisdom, all power, all love, and all splendor, to flourish for my laudable undertaking. I am one with thee, O great spirit of spirits, because the fullness of you embodies my soul. Let your power, love, and presence shine radiantly through me, guiding all my ways and divine ambition to reveal the brightness of your day. Abiding in the center of you, most adorable God, my will and courage, energized by your dream of beauty and power. My ways are filled with holy influence, as I give expression to all your divine attributes within me, in union with you, and as your power works through me. Nothing in the entire universe opposes my good. All things work for the fulfillment of my will. The spirit of the air is ministering God's life presence to me, renewing my soul, mind, and body. The spirit of the fire is ministering God's transforming and transmutating grace through me, making me bright. I absorb holy learning from pain. The spirit of the water is ministering God's restoring grace through my life, and I'm ever purified and reborn to the fullness of the God presence. The spirit of the earth is ministering God's stabilizing love in my soul. In the fullness of my Godhead, and radiantly perfect in the midst of the element, I successfully create my will to glory of God. O God, the flame of your divine love and wisdom purifies my mind and will. And you have become the health of my soul, mind, and body. All of life is assembled, working for my highest good. And my life is becoming the never-ending, ever-revealing glory of your mighty presence. I take authority over my life and bless every action, bless every condition I go through to reveal the greater good in my life. To you, O Father, Mother, God, the most holy, who is the vastest of my soul, be the all glory and praise throughout the ages. To your name be the might and power without end. Amen.
Amen. Welcome, beloved soul, into the sacred space of peace, purpose, and divine alignment. Let us begin by gently closing our eyes and allowing our body to soften. I want us to relax. Take a deep breath in and slowly exhale. Take another deep breath in. And slowly exhale again, receiving the breath of life. And when you exhale, releasing all tension and mental noise from your body. And with each breath, we are coming home to stillness, peace, and infinite now. Shall we take another deep breath in? Hold it. And then exhale gently. Releasing all tension and mental stillness. And in doing this, we allow ourselves to drop from mind into the heart space, becoming aware of the sacred presence that is always here. This is the presence of pure spirit, divine intelligence, infinite one, and by whatever name that you choose to call it, which is God, source, or divine love. We are not seeking to become spiritual. We are remembering that we are spiritual beings having a human experience. And in this remembrance, we align ourselves with the truth of our being, all worthy, empowered, and connected. We are not here to get something. We are here to let something emerge. And as we open ourselves to the divine download, inner guidance to truth that liberates us. Now I want us to take this affirmative prayer as we close our eyes. Right here and right now, we acknowledge that the one life perfect, whole, and complete is expressing through us, as us, and in us. I speak this word of truth, knowing that the presence of spirit is alive in every individual in this space, online or in person. Each one is here by divine appointment, ready to be uplifted expanded and renewed. We release all thoughts of limitation, doubt, or fear. I want us to affirm these words saying, I am receptive, I am available, I am aligned with the highest of good. In spirit and of divine entities bearing this work, we welcome transformation, not just for ourselves, but also for collective of all humanity. We open this service with a holy expectation that transformation is not only possible, but is inevitable when we surrender ourselves with divine will. I want us to observe a minute of silence, going deep in, because it's important that the truth comes from within, not without. And here, beyond words, beyond thought, is a source of all. Here we listen not with our ears, but with the ear of our heart. Let the still small voice guide us. Let divine love embrace us. As it says that be still and know that all is within. That is, be still and know that I am God. And as we return from this stillness, we bring within us renewed awareness of our purpose. We bless this service, every speaker, singer, soul that will share. We affirm that this time together is sacred, powerful, and transformative. And let us all say together, and it is so. Amen.
Today's healing service. We will continue with our teaching. We began the other week. About unlocking mystical powers, finding your reality. Today Our focus is to step into blending, tuning, or embracing ultimate reality. Does anyone recall what we touched on the last time? Anyone at all? Joshua, do you? We did talk about the fact that reality is the outer projection of inner spiritual states. And that your inner configuration, that is your emotional, your mental, and spiritual patterns, ultimately.
Can you reduce the music a bit, please?
Is it better?
But now it's gone completely.
But can you hear me though?
Yeah. I think, yeah, that's okay.
Okay. So we did indicate that our inner configuration, that is our emotional, mental, spiritual patterns, ultimately determine what we see. And that the physical is merely a vessel for spiritual life. Now, when we allow ourselves to get aligned with the flow of the divine, that is how we experience wholeness. Thinking about this yesterday, I get weird thoughts come to my mind sometimes. And I was just thinking, like, is it possible to create a whole? And I'm like, oh, you can't create wholeness. Wholeness is who we are, but we can rather create factions. See, by attempting to take out. You can't create wholeness because that's who we are. When we are misaligned, that is when reality reflects as fragments. And I was saying this, and I was thinking about this. I did say that last week, but I'm not sure if most of us heard it. I'm thinking we probably didn't, because it'll probably have become a discussion. Now, what's real, and obviously we've had a chat about this, Anna. Now, what's real on one level or in one sphere may be an illusion in another. Bringing into mind the fact that dolphins, or let's say sharks, have got no awareness whatsoever of what a giraffe is. So even though giraffes are real and they are existential in our world, a shark doesn't have a reality of what a giraffe is. Spends all his life in water, never seen one. So to them, giraffes don't exist. Think about that and let it sink in. We have vibration now. We've said this and it's near enough become cliche, but it isn't. The fact that we are vibrational beings in a vibrational universe. What does, yes, refresh us. What does Tesla say about understanding the mysteries of the world or understanding the mysteries of the universe?
It says that to understand if you want to understand the secret of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequencies, and vibration.
Yeah, the energy, frequencies, and vibration. Our thoughts, our emotions, and our beliefs are consistently, continuously emitting frequency. And that frequency determines what reality streams we align with. So to change or to alter reality at any point, at any level, in any space, we must change our state of being. The signature of your frequency ought to change in order for you to alter reality. Our manifestations and what we experience on the outside, said this, and I can't say it over enough. They are mere reflections of what is on the inside. The reflection we get is as a result of what we've projected onto the inner. So if you are not enjoying the reflection, change the projection. Change what you are projecting. So then, if that is, then reality is not objective. It's very subjective. It is magnetic and it's responsive. It can be something we react to, but it's something that emerges through us when we are aligned with a higher self. I've got no other way of putting it. I was having a chat with a friend who is so fixated on stepping into a flow. She enjoys the flow, and she wants it to be like that, and very fixated on this frequency, and I just don't want to let go of it. I just want to remain there. I'm like, basically what you're going to do is you're going to make a chore out of it. One, and then all you're going to end up doing is just build resistance. And when you build resistance, you're out of flow. Because trying to do something to maintain a flow distracts you from the essence of your being, and now you are resorting to control. See? Trying to control and manipulate your feelings to produce an effect that you like. It shouldn't be the case. Okay? So, I agree with what Reverend Beckwith says when he says that reality is not a fixed set of circumstances. I like that statement. A reality is not a fixed set of circumstances. It's the unfolding of your soul's own potential in space, time. It is a constant living process of our spiritual becoming. And in Alan Watts' words, I love Watts, there is not something out there. It's a play. It's nothingness. See? Nothingness. And it brings the ego into it because it's our ego that has these constructs of what is real and what is not real. And everything that we can appreciate and comprehend is real. What we can't fathom to us is not real. What we can wrap our minds around is not real. All that there is, say that you are ultimate reality. You know, whether you want to call Brahma or Tao or Tao, whatever you want to pronounce it, or source or light principle. And this reality is not separate. It's not separate from you. You are it. We're having this chat yesterday as well. And now that I'm dead, knowing that I have nothing that I have belongs to me, nothing that I own, nothing that I ever own belongs to me. Who and what I am, or what am I? Will bring you into some very deep truths. Some of which may scare you. And when this hits you, a lot changes. I've come to accept that I am only, there's only the universe pretending to be me at any one point. Like the observer in the game. The moment you stop taking yourself so seriously, reality becomes fluid, it becomes humorous, and it becomes sacred. That is the path that I have from God. That is the issue. In the next two sessions, I will touch a little bit on reality transfer and looking at reality as a multiverse of possibilities. But I want to build this foundation first. And then we build, what is it called? We kind of develop on it as we progress. So when we say ultimate reality, what will you define as ultimate reality? Is Samuel still here?
Samuel?
Yeah, is he still here?
He's present.
Okay, yeah, he's still there.
Is it Ariel or Samuel?
Okay. What is ultimate reality then?
I think these are two words. Should we separate them and bring them together later?
Okay. If that's how you want to approach it, just go for it.
Reality. I think we start from reality. Reality is what you can see in your consciousness. I think it's what you can. That's my own definition. It's not any esoteric, whatever definition. Reality is what you can see. I'm trying to check in the dictionary as well what reality means. To me, is what you can see in your consciousness. Okay. The dictionary says that the state of things as they actually exist, as opposed to an idealist or notional idea of them. Then the second one says the state or quality of having existence or substance. But for me,
like the existence. Okay.
So for me, it's I think that reality is only true based on your conscious. Something exists only based on how conscious you are of it. Because what is reality to you, what you can see from your perspective, I might not see it. That's why someone can point to, oh, give me that glass or give me that pen. And you'd be like, where is it? you're looking in the same direction, looking at the same thing, but you can't see it until you see it. It becomes reality. You can only pick it up.
Until your attention is brought to it.
Exactly. You can only pick that pen up until you see exactly where it is. And it was where it was all this while. The other person could see it, but you didn't. If it makes sense. That's my own understanding.
Ish. It makes sense. Ish.
Ish, is that saying? This is PhD answer that I'll be.
Right. Anyone else?
Oh, what is ultimate reality?
Yes, sir.
Do you want a textbook definition?
I want just a definition or whatever definition you have.
Oh. Well, the internet says ultimate reality is the supreme, final, and fundamental power in all reality. It refers to the most fundamental fact about reality, especially when it seems as also being the most valuable fact. This may overlap with concepts of absolute in certain philosophies. This doesn't help me.
So, to summarize the point you made,
It's the most fundamental reality.
we're using a word to define
Yeah,
the
I don't know. It doesn't really.
You're not using ChatGPT, are you?
No, I'm using the internet.
Okay. I know you're ChatGPT averse, but yeah. Okay. All right. So when in my little engagement, I've realized that when Westerners hear of ultimate reality within Eastern philosophical or esoteric or spiritual study, it is often confused with the idea of who and what God is. It's based loosely on my own observations and my own study. But I align we're biased towards the Eastern ideals of what ultimate reality. Where it's seen as not a creator who is judging our lives according to a set of beliefs, but relating in a way that looks at nature and is or as a substratum of the universe. To use the word just I use the supreme, I would rather say instead of using supreme or fundamental reality, I'll borrow your word as well. So between us, we have managed to bring out words which kind of hit on this and explain it. Supreme consciousness, which is eternal and dwells within all beings as one. Cosmic union. So the Buddhists will term it as Brahman or Tao. And you've heard it say it over and over again. But over these sessions, my hope is that you will get closer in our appreciation and see how having this understanding or embracing this aligns with us unlocking mystical power. I've said that by the end of this year, my desire for each and every one of us is that we'll be in a place where we won't just have a form of godliness, but we will exhibit the power as well. I will just oppose this upon the the concept of ultimate reality as it brings forth from Abrahamic religion, talking about Jewish, Christian, Islam, and see what we can bring up from these. I've been asked a few times, what am I? I met someone yesterday and it's like, they were surprised to see me in character. I'm like, I say, how did you do something? I'm like, what do you mean? It's like, you don't even know whether you're a fetish priest, whether you are a traditionalist, whether we are calling Pentecostal pastors, you are here with your clerical. The next time we see you, we see you, it's like, who are you? Right, that's the beauty of it. Because we are always busy trying to categorize. We're always busy trying to box people up. We are always busy trying to segmentalize. We're always busy trying to create identities, trying to create modes for people to fit in, because that is what makes us feel comfortable. That is how we can get to control them. I am beyond your control. So feel free. However you want to see me, I am. I am anything you choose to make me. I am. And I make no apologies about that. Paul talks about being all things to all men, but that I might by any means being some. Okay. So in another stretch, this what my focus and my desire, my aspiration for this session is that it will bring us to the place of having a concept of God beyond God. That will make sense even as we journey through. Self and form is an illusion. And from deep Buddhist traditions, when you take like Christian, when you take Islamic, when you take Jewish traditions, we start talking about spirituality and we start with God. From a Buddhist perspective, the journey doesn't start with God. It starts with an experience. Suffering. Talk about suffering, impermanence, and the illusion of self. Okay, so where it starts from. Two different perspectives, but hopefully they arrive at the same point somewhere. So I agree with Alan Watts when he says that ultimate reality is nothingness, because it is seen as tohu, abuhu, null and void, emptiness. F was without form, the formless, the void. Do you get where this is going? In the beginning, what does Genesis 1 tell us?
Beginning.
God created heaven and earth. And earth was without form, and it was void. Tohu abuhu was null and void. The experience of nothingness. It is even in as much as we can call it empty. So let's take, for instance, we talk about space, we talk about vacuum. Does vacuum means empty? Does it mean empty?
Vacuum. I don't think so.
It only
It means
means the
space.
absence, the absence of air, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean empty. The fact that there isn't air doesn't mean it's not inhabited. It's inhabited by what we haven't defined yet, by a form that is formless, isn't it? It's like we saying water is colorless, loosely, because we can't put it to a color that or a construct or an idea of color that we don't have. So we say it's colorless. Okay. It doesn't mean there's nothing there. We've got entities all around us. The fact that we don't see them doesn't mean it's not there. The fact that I'm not listening to BBC right now or Al Jazeera right now doesn't mean Al Jazeera is not there. It is there. I'm just not tuned in. Okay. So it's a dynamic, interdependent nature of all things. The mind of the Buddha, as they call it. Fundamental mind without form, without suffering, without an attachment to impermanence. Fluid mind. Am I hitting at the right level? We talked about that. We were talking about this earlier on in our session, Jay, about the fact that we are interconnected, interrelated. Do you want to hit on what we picked up in terms of our interconnection, or as they call it, our interrelation? Just for the benefit of those who went.
They said how when you think something, how do I explain this? Do I just talk about anything that they said in the video, or
what was said in relation to our interdependence?
How do how through your own actions you can manifest, or through your own thoughts you can manifest how people act. Like they gave an example that if you write on a piece of paper about something you want someone to do or someone to see, you can just imagine, or by writing that down and by imagining that message going to them, it will find a way to them. Just like how in some instances you may be thinking something and then someone next to you may say that exact thing without them even noticing that you talking about.
Yeah. So you send the thought. Exactly so, rightly so. And this thing happens around us all the time, just that awareness is not brought to it and we don't understand how it works. And the whole idea of this is by the end of this, we will understand how these things work and we use it to our advantage and for the collective good of humanity. Like yesterday, I was driving a mom and I was going to tell her something. And then deep down within me, I'm like, oh, every time I say this, then it brings a problem. And I'm like, I'm not going to say it. I'm just waiting. I'm just going to wait for her to say it. And not even a second after she says it. And I was just laughing in my head. You understand? It works. So we are connected. We are connected. I was thinking about this the other day as well. How when we look at plants, when you look at, when you have, let's say, what is your favorite fruit? Or favorite vegetable? Or favorite flower?
Rose.
Rose, okay. So when you look at the rose flower or the rose plant or whatever, the flower, When you look at it, what do you see?
Do you want me to say the exact reason why I like the rose? Or
No. When you look
I
at a
s-
rose, what do you see? Well, what do you see? Looking at a rose.
I see red.
You see red, okay?
I see something and fragile, but yet has got protection.
So
Those are the
delicate.
colors.
What else?
But yeah, yeah.
What do you smell? So let's bring senses into it now. So if I talk about rose now, even as we talk about rose now, can you smell? If you want to give yourself the permission to smell a rose,
Yeah.
do you remember how it smells like?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're talking about all of these. But there's something very useful that we don't often think about. And I've started for about a year and a bit now, I've started to go deeper in some of these things and think about them. That when I'm looking at a plant, when I'm eating, when I'm looking at food, when I'm looking at my vegetables and all of that, I just don't see that. I see the sun. I see the rain that watered it. I see the soil from which it's grown. I see the hands that picked it. I see the hands or the processes that washed it, that prepared it. I see the packaging. There's a lot more that has gone into it to become what it is than just what we look at. Self is not an island. Stream of causes and conditions go together to make the rose. The right ambience around the seed to make it what it is. Start seeing things like that. You look at humans, and because someone doesn't look like you, doesn't talk like you, doesn't act like you, you look down on them. You know, the generations of DNA, the wisdom that has conspired over generations to bring and to produce this one human. Tons and tons and tons of people. And you have a moment to share with them, and you treat it as ordinary. Superimposing your, and I was just saying this yesterday to someone, finally. So that the problem of the world is because most of us think that the world revolves around our desires, it revolves around our wants and our tiny wishes. No, it doesn't. The day we stop thinking that all of life, or we are the center of life, that day everything changes. The world is not the way it is in order to make you happy. Life is happening for life. And it won't always look like what we desire. It won't always look like what we want. It won't always look like what we consider pretty. If you're to go to a diamond mine, it looks so nasty. It's a pit of death. But that's where the diamonds are embedded. You look at it in its raw form, it's nothing like what you see when it's processed. Black diamond is essentially carbon. You can think of it in terms of coal. Just different ends of the same spectrum. Let's begin to readdress some of these narratives. So ordinary reality is not an object. See, that's the point I was trying to make of this. Now you look at the rose, and the rose is real to you, but you can't see the reality of the sun that made it. Even as you look at it, you can't see the reality of the drops of rain which have gone into it. You can't see the reality of the viability of that particular seed. that produced that plant at that point. You can't see it. You only see the forms because we are conditioned to form. And ultimate reality is the embracing of the formless. It's a realization that everything is empty of self, however, is full of everything else. Remember that. Everything is empty of self, but is full of everything else. So it's beyond concepts. Language will fail to say this over the years, but when it comes to the things of the spirit, you can only resort to the language of similarities and examples. You will struggle to get exactness because language isn't enough. See? So the poet Rumi says that the voice of God is silence and all others are pure translation. They are poor translation. Language is never enough because the moment you introduce language, you introduce form, you introduce a concept. You put something in people's mind instead of freeing their minds of to embrace the nothingness or the emptiness. Do you know this popular Zen saying that a finger that points at the moon is not the moon? See? The reality, in all fairness, if I could humbly submit, is what remains when we stop grasping. What remains when we stop trying to get hold of. That is reality. Or that is ultimate reality. The moment you're trying to grasp, it's no longer it. I've got this meme that I shared a few years ago, and I'll share again, of this gentleman who it just shows and confirms the illusion of one. And I've said this over and over again. Anytime we express one, we are basically expressing our lack, isn't it? Yeah. So I grab this, I want this, and then the moment they've got that and their hands are full of it, there's another thing they want. Do you let go of that to go get that? The Lord is my shepherd. I express no wanting. It's an illusion. I'm a student of Master Eckhart, and I was reading. He has a lecture called "I Pray God to Rid Me of God." He wrote this 13th century. Serious text, and I will encourage all of it. I'll find it. It was in it's in the I'll get a website. It's a website of archives that I read stuff of, and I was reading it, and it got me thinking. And in there he says that until we are in a place where we can see God beyond God, we can never embrace and appreciate what God is. Because God isn't. Master Eckhart was a mystic. He was a mystic from Dominican Republic. To many people, to say that I pray God to rid me of God might sound heretical. Well, it's a badge that I really enjoy. I enjoy when people call me heretic. It makes me happy.
To me, it only sounds that I'm thinking outside the box. So when someone says heretic, it only sounds like you're thinking outside the box.
Yeah, exactly. And the truth is, as you know, I've said jokingly over the years, I will not even put myself in a box to force myself outside of it to think. So boxless thinking is what I do. Yeah, but I go with me. And this is not a rejection of God, because oftentimes we are too quick to attack what we don't find familiar. So we don't think. It's not a rejection of God, but rather an invitation for you and I to go beyond our images of God, or I would say the idols that we have created by mind and doctrine, and superimposed or imported into the Godhead. The expanse of unconditioned and pure thoughts, allowing the birthing of what we can't contend and fathom. So Paul said that, oh, how great both the wisdom and the knowledge of God, and the knowledge of God. How unsearchable his ways are, and his ways past finding out. Can't fathom it. You can't. See? So going beyond the images, the ideas, the concepts that we have superimposed and embossed on our awareness as God, letting go of them and getting rid of God, so that you can see God for what God is. And in that lecture, he says something. He said some very good nuggets there, that in the ground, or in the columns of the soul wherein the ego is silenced, God is born anew. Most of the ideas that we hold of God, and I was telling you of this man who, every time I make a post, he come and harass me, and I just laugh at it. And every time I read through some of the things he shares, I'm like, oh well, I can see the scream and the shout of ego. You're trying to protect and defend God, like, seriously. It's funny, isn't it? God is not big enough to defend himself. The evidence is out there through nature. And what you think is you defending God, no, you are only defending your concept and your idea. The idol of God that you have created in your mind is what you are trying to defend. And I won't allow myself to be party to that unnecessary discord. You are right. Keep going. See? So there's something in the soul that is on. There's something in the soul of man, even as I step into when I got on this, can I call it a mission, or this passion to share what I'm experiencing and what I've experienced, and allow myself to, experience over the years, identify self-realities. I've come to accept the fact that there's something in the soul of man that is uncreated and uncreatable. Can die. And embracing our self-realities is allowing all of your soul, rather than just that space, to be uncreated, expanding, soul expansion. And that place is often veiled by noise, by our identities. Still working on a workshop. The place where our oneness with the Godhead can be tampered with, not separate. You can also say that ultimate reality is oneness. that silent wellspring that flows beyond and before thought even in any form. The path to God that is beyond God. Emptying the soul of all that is not God, of ego, of desire, of identities. One becomes receptive to pure being. I love the leading statement of Brother Ishmael's new book, Break Free. I love it. I'm so excited about the workshops last night. I was going through the scripts and like, damn, I just can't wait to do this. It says that you never know how deep you have slept until you wake up. You can only know how deeply or how badly you slept when you wake up. Consciousness is the seat of our creation. In ultimate reality, is oneness, is the unity of all. Has anyone got any question? So I'm getting the healing session. Has anyone got any question? Because I just realized it's 25. It's gone 20 past and me too. Have you got anything to add?
I haven't got anything to add. I think you've said it all.
Are we getting to heart alignment? To allow yourself to ruminate on everything you've heard in the last 35 or so minutes. I want us to now, we're going to take 12 cycles of breaths. We'll be breathing in for 4, we hold for 4, breathe out for 4, we hold for 4. And if it helps, you can do it to these beats. So in 1, 2, 3, breathe in. Hold. Out. Hold. In. Hold. Breathe out. And hold. In. Hold. Out. And hold. In. And out. Hold. And in. Hold. And out. And hold. In. Hold. And out. Hold. 2 more. In. Hold. And out. And hold. Now, just breathe normally. Just breathe normally. With every in-breath, scan the soles of your feet, the crown of your head. With the out-breath, scan from the crown of your head to the sole of your feet, listening to every sensation in your body. Enjoy the sereneness in your body temple right now. Just enjoy it. Even in this time, I want you to bring focus to any part of your body that is in need of healing. Any part of your emotions, any part of your feelings, any part of your mind that is in need of healing. Imagine all the vibrance, the healing energy in the sun. See you as the sun. And experience the glow in a strength brighter, radiant than that of a million suns. Flooding this spot that requires this healing with the intensity, the energy, the radiance, the vibrance of all these rays. And in this time, lifting voice and speaking as one who bears divine remembrance. O eternal flame who existed before the stars were kindled. O breath before breath. O depth beyond name. We return to you. Not as beggars, but as those who remember. Returning with trembling bones, with flesh, with hearts swollen with silent aches. Returning that you may restore what has fallen and cleanse all that has forgotten its life. Collective, I speak now as the voice of the earth's children, the cries of the wounded bodies, the ache of forgotten feeling, the longing buried in the silence of time. Come now, O ancient one, primordial healing. Wash us, renew us, even as we remember. You who whispers the dream of the divine into the ears of the willing, blow through the chambers of our mind, lift the fog of grief, utter the debris of confusion. Let the winds of clarity clear the breath of every soul that breathes and hears this prayer. Breathe into our feeling, that they may no longer turn to shadows in darkness and in silence, but rise as a song, as truth, as presence. O spirit wind, restore the breath of joy to our inner sky. to the keepers of the heart's secret rivers. O sacred one who dwells in tears and oceans, in blood and in sweat. In fluids that we celebrate. In flow, in semen. You who remember every sorrow poured in silence, flow now into the wounded waters within us. Cleanse the ache we could not name, anoint the memories we could not bear to hold. Let compassion surge from the wells of our being. You who caress the coral and carry the moon in your tides, touch now the places in our bodies where emotion has become ice. Melt them into the warmth of sacred relates. O holy and sacred waters, restore tenderness to the soul of all humanity. The fire of ash, the light of the seraphim, O flame that burns without end, torch of the Holy One, forge of the soul, come now. Burn away the roots of hidden bitterness, the silent rage buried in the bone. Transmute the poison of shame into the gold of truth. Let your fire be not distraction but purification. Let it not consume but annoy. O living flame, reignite the will to feel and to heal. To the earth, O mother of memory, guardian of form. You who hold the dust of our ancestors, whose back carries the altars of our healing. Rely and we rely on you. Throw out from our bodies what has been buried too long, the fatigue that has hardened into silence, the traumas edged into sinew and skin. Reweave our bones, rewire our internal organ, renew the covenant between body and soul. Let every cell be called back into harmony with your reign. O wise earth, restore the balance to this temple of flesh and that of my brethren. The ether, the invisible holy, Shekinah, divine center. O breathless one who dwells in the space between the stars, in the stillness between pulses, in the silence between words. Descend now as light beyond fire, as love beyond condition. Wrap our feelings into your majesty. Embrace our bodies with the unseen arms of grace. Fill our hearts with memory of the eternal. Let this be the hour of return. Let this be the moment of remembrance. All holy beings of life, of light, of fire and form, this is your hour. Before me, Raphael, bring healing to the mind. Gabriel behind me, bringing healing to the heart. Michael at my right hand, bring strength to defend the life. Aniel at my left, bless this body and the bodies of all that are connected to this vibration with divine beauty and harmony. Above us burns the six-winged stars. Within me rises the hexagram of divine union. Before me walks Jehovah, Behind me, echoes of Adonai. Around me shines a. Within me, 10. The one, Ra. Ate, Markov, Begebura, Begedula, Leolam. God of all beginnings, architect of soul and starlight, let your dew fall upon this wounded world. Let your river rise through every injustice. Let your peace roll through every border. We accept the truth of wholeness now. We accept that healing has already occurred. The force of all that is good, vital, sacred, and eternal moves in us now. Move in us now. And move in the world now. This is the charge. Let love restore, let life prevail, let all be made anew. And so it is, and so must it be. O souls of all that is and shall be, as it is with the river, so let it be with our blood. As it is with the lizard's tail, so let it be with our brokenness. As it is with the dawn after the deepest night, so let it be with our heart. I speak now to the sacred intelligence that knows how to mend, restore, repattern, and renew. May every nerve be touched by holy light. May every tear become oil. May every shadow find its shape in the great light of divine wholeness. Raphael, healer of the spheres, stand before us. Gabriel, bringer of purity, stand behind us. Aniel, angel of grace, spread wings within you. Michael, protector of love, stand beside us. In the presence of the ancient fires, and at the gaze of the stars, within the silence of the Holy One, let this be done. Let this be seen. Amen. Ashe. Selah. Do. And be. Allow yourself to reawaken material consciousness. Roll your palms together, as you know, and as our customers. Rub your face, palms. Go in this your newness. Go in this might. Go in this strength. Revolve in this sound. And now we disperse. O ye great and mighty ones who are called, and you hearken unto my call, the work of perfection is done. Our aspiration is not to dispatch you, but that you continue in your works with us until humanity are awakened to the consciousness of one, until love comes our land. Then and only then are you licensed to depart from us. Until then, live, praise, and give thanks to the very end. And from the center of purity and love, I bless you. I bless you. And God bless you. Amen. Allow my life to us.